The legendary Fernando Alonso has shocked everyone with his cryptic revelations, hinting at a link between the team's poor performance and the mysterious Pirelli tyre update. As whispers spread like wildfire, the burning question on everyone's mind is, could this be the end of Aston Martin's story this season? Let's find out. So what happened to Aston Martin? Aston Martin started the season with a phenomenal performance, securing podium finishes in 6 out of the first 8 races. One of the teams that stood out during the early stages of the season was Aston Martin, with Fernando Alonso delivering a shocking third-place finish at the season opener in Bahrain. This achievement marked his second podium in 7 years, leaving fans in awe and happiness for both him and the team. However, the euphoria was short-lived, as Aston Martin's performance took a dip, raising questions about their sudden inability to challenge for podium places. Aston Martin's rollercoaster performance continued until the Silverstone Grand Prix. In the last 2 races leading up to that event, the team seemed to be completely off the pace, causing concern among their supporters. The British Grand Prix saw the team finish 9th and 10th, with Alonso and Lance Stroll respectively, highlighting their struggle to compete with the front runners. Alonso admitted that they were not quick enough to challenge anyone ahead, nor did they have any threats from behind. Prior to the British Grand Prix, Alonso stood on the podium 6 times, more than Sergio Perez at that point. However, the team's pace seemed to have diminished, leaving them to barely scrape into the points. Aston Martin's 9th and 10th place finishes in Hungary seemed to accurately reflect their current performance level. Alonso revealed that the team expected to struggle at Silverstone due to the track's nature, but they anticipated being stronger in Budapest. Unfortunately, this turned out not to be the case, adding to the mystery surrounding their declining form. With the high-speed nature of the Belgian circuit, it appears unlikely that they will make a significant improvement without some major changes to the car. So what was the problem? One significant change that coincided with their dip in performance was Pirelli's debut of a new tyre specification at Silverstone. The new tyre is reportedly more resistant to fatigue and was brought forward due to the increased speed of the cars compared to last year. Some believe this change may have impacted Aston Martin's performance, as their strength has previously been managing tyres effectively. Now, they seem to struggle to extract the same lap time from their car, possibly due to difficulties with tyre temperature control. Alonso's post-race verdict points to Aston Martin now being 5th best team, behind Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari and McLaren. He speculates that the modified Pirelli tyres introduced at the British Grand Prix might have impacted the competitive order. He observes that while some teams, including Red Bull, seem to be struggling more with their new tyres, others were quite happy with them. Speaking to the media, Fernando Alonso said, "We are 1/10 from McLaren, so it's not as bad as maybe the result looks. But yeah, we need to improve. There's no doubt we made a step backward in the last few races, and everyone did a step forward. Also, it is a coincidence that when the new Pirelli tyres came in Silverstone, there are a couple of teams that were struggling more, and a couple of teams that are very happy with the car now. It's not only us. I think Red Bull has clearly been hit with those tyres. They've been 1-2 in every qualifying, 1-2 in every race, and now they are not even on pole position. Checo is struggling to be in the top 10. At Silverstone, I think Max was only 3 seconds in front of Lando. So I see things a little bit abnormal since Silverstone. I think you can feel the car a little bit different with the tyres, but as I said, it is difficult sometimes to be neutral." Pirelli introduced the new tyre specifications due to the unexpected increase in downforce generated by F1 cars, necessitating more robust tyres to handle the increased loads and reduce the risk of failures. Teams tested the new tyres during Friday's practice at the Spanish Grand Prix before their introduction at Silverstone. The stances taken by some of the teams align with Pirelli's assertions regarding the magnitude of the change. Although Pirelli has not provided a comprehensive breakdown of the modifications, they have affirmed that it involves a single material alteration within the construction of the tyres. "I didn't see any difference," said Pirelli F1 boss Mario Isola when asked by The Race about Alonso's comments on the impact of the tyres. "It was tested in Barcelona and the feedback from the teams was clear. They didn't feel any difference. When we introduced the new material in Silverstone, we also collected feedback from the teams. Some said we just have to make small change in the setup. Some said we didn't find any difference, but the general feedback was neutral." The subtle nature of the setup changes carries great significance when considering the potential effects of the recent tyre construction alteration. While it might appear to be a minor adjustment, the implications extend far beyond just the car's balance. The aerodynamic turbulence generated by the front wheels plays a crucial role, making even the smallest tyre change capable of altering the car's aerodynamic map in a meaningful manner. Additionally, adjustments in tyre shape can impact ride heights and necessitate significant changes in camber and suspension settings, given the tyre contact patch's importance. The overall stiffness of the tyre can also be subject to shifts, leading to potential issues. Historically, mid-season tyre changes have demonstrated their ability to cause significant impacts. Take for example the 2013 season, when the Pirelli tyres underwent major modifications following multiple tyre failures at the British Grand Prix. This called for significant changes in the tyre's shape, affecting both aerodynamics and ride heights. However, the current situation is different, and the changes this year are not as dramatic in nature. The subtlety of these alterations leaves us intrigued about the potential consequences on the racing landscape. Alonso's claim, however, faces skepticism from other teams and experts in the paddock. Red Bull's chief engineer, Paul Monahan, admits that there might be a possibility of the tyre change making a difference, but he attributes the shifting competitive order to the rapid development rate in Formula One. Other team representatives, including Alpine's sporting director, McLaren's team principal, and Aston Martin's own head of vehicle performance, all describe the tyre changes as subtle and doubt they had any significant impact on performance. The consensus in the F1 paddock seems to lean towards the belief that the tyre change has not been a major factor behind Aston Martin's slump. Instead, it is seen as a result of the ongoing development war between the top teams, where any slight impact of the tyre change is overshadowed. Aston Martin's team principal Mike Crack acknowledges that the Hungarian Grand Prix was a reality check, highlighting that the team has slipped back further than expected. While the tyre change is not to blame directly, Crack recognises that Aston Martin faces challenges in optimising their car for different track conditions. He emphasises that the team needs to work harder and implement upgrades to stay competitive. That would be an easy excuse, wouldn't it, he said. We see that there is a little difference with these tyres, but they were brought in on safety, and so, from that point of view, everybody has to run them and it's the same for everybody. So, I think we should not use this as an excuse for competitiveness, because it's the same tyres as we have to use going forward. So it's about learning as much as possible about them and moving on. Jonathan Eddles, AlphaTauri's head of trackside engineering, has verified that they have indeed implemented minor adjustments to adapt to the new tyres. However, he has also emphasised that these alterations are of minor consequence. Honestly, from our side, there's subtle differences, he said when asked about the impact of the tyres. In agreement with this perspective, Alpine's sporting director Alain Permain echoed similar sentiments and hinted that the perceived impact of the tyre change might be misleading, akin to a red herring in the grand scheme of things. The change was very subtle from what I understand, said Permain. I don't think they're a huge factor. I've read that Aston and Red Bull are maybe questioning their pace a little bit, but it could just be down to development. We know McLaren had a huge step, but that kind of coincided with the tyres, although we didn't have the tyres in Austria and they were quick in Austria, so I suspect that could be a red herring. Andrea Stella, McLaren's team principal, brushed aside the notion that the tyre change played a role in their impressive leap up the order, securing second place in the last two Grand Prix events. Alonso's arguments about the tyres' impact cannot be dismissed outright, but in the fiercely competitive F1 landscape, even minor changes can reshuffle team standings. The balance of probability leans towards the tyres being a minor factor. Aston Martin must focus on improvement without fixating on the tyres as the main cause. Success lies in working diligently, understanding and making the right setup decisions to regain their competitive edge. In conclusion, while Fernando Alonso's suspicion about the tyre change affecting Aston Martin's performance raises eyebrows, the majority of the F1 community believes the impact has been minimal. The team faces a tough challenge in catching up to their rivals and must focus on development and optimizing their car's performance to make a comeback in the highly competitive world of Formula One. As we eagerly await the upcoming races, one thing is certain: the Formula One season is full of surprises and uncertainties. We hope Aston Martin can bounce back and challenge their rivals once again. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting Formula One updates and analysis. Stay tuned, and until next time, keep revving those engines.